Hey everyone, I hope this video finds you well. Now, today, we're talking about when you're in a group or you have a group, typically you're gonna be on one side of the road where you maybe do paranormal investigations in the relaxed opening where you get into a location and then you kind of map it out from there and say, hey, I think we should do this, this, that. Hey, come back in 20, 30 minutes or so and we'll be flip-flopping throughout the investigation. Or like we do, which is the traditional team setup, we go in with an itinerary and we try and map out, because we typically have two teams of 5 with 10 people. We try and move throughout the investigation and we have a home base. We have an itinerary to kind of account for noise contamination. We're trying to reduce that. And if something happens, we can show on paper where the other team was, for example. But the whole concept here for this Paranormal 201 is kind of to share with you that just because you use one type of opening for an investigation, if you're extremely scientific or you're just more organized with the traditional team setup, or you're more relaxed with the relaxed opening, you can change them throughout the investigations. And let me give you an example. Our first investigation with YourParanormal, we use the organized opening, which we call the traditional team setup. But because it was a private residence, we only had one team. But what I'm trying to say here is we had an itinerary. Every member had a role, and we went through it just like that. One individual was the photographer for the entire night. Someone was the video camera operator. Someone was the static tech, the EVP tech, the recorder, and everyone had a role. And we just followed the itinerary. And of course, if we got off track, that's okay. We just adjusted to it. But the second investigation was a small investigation that we did with our friend Tina. And we actually rented out a photography studio. And because we didn't have the layout or anything, and we didn't really know what was going on, we didn't make an itinerary. We just went in there and we didn't even know, hey, do you want to be the photographer for a little bit? Maybe I'll record for an hour or two and I'll switch to the photographer, for example. That's the relaxed approach. And I think as your group progresses, maybe you're a group leader, maybe you're just a member, but I truly believe, and we at Your Paranormal believe, that if you try out each different opening, maybe you open the investigation with a relaxed approach and you follow through, and then the next investigation you try the more organized traditional team setup. Well, I think you might still have that preference. We're always probably going to continue to do the traditional team setup. But if we find a location, for example, the next one we're going to, I don't know when this video is going to be released, but the next one we're going to is actually a private residence, and we don't know how long we're going to be there. We don't know how many floors there are. We don't know anything. And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of do a hybrid, where it's going to be a more relaxed investigation. We're going to get there. We might have roles set already, but there's going to be no itinerary. And you can see that because our group has done both, we can kind of adjust on the fly. And that's the mindset that we wanted to introduce to you in this Paranormal 201, where you can try different tactics and openings to investigations. You don't always have to be so scientific. You don't always have to be so organized. And you don't always have to be so casual or relaxed about it. You can try different openings and different ways to investigate. And I think even if you stick with, for example, if you're, for your paranormal team, you can still remain a casual, more relaxed, investigating style team. But I think if you do a few investigations with more structure to it, it might breathe new life, which is a pun, of course. Or it might breathe and breed new ideas. You truly never know, but our recommendation from Your Paranormal is that you try multiple ways and you try different things. So as you increase your sample size and all of your research and all of your data into the paranormal, you can say, hey, this investigation, we were more relaxed. And this was our results. We were more organized, and this was our results. And, we might still stay more organized or more relaxed, but just having that extra perspective was invaluable. Hey, everyone. We hope this video finds you well. Have a fantastic day. It was Paranormal 201.